Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and me too fine also. And today we are here to continue our example. In last lecture we have studied about three steps of the gantry girder, and it was like first one was maximum wheel load. Second one, maximum bending moment. Due to wheel load. Third one, maximum shear force due to wheel load. These three steps we have studied in a previous lecture. Okay, now today we are going to cover more steps like we will study about today in maximum shear force due to wheel load. Okay, now there are some other wheel also on the gantry girder in despite of crane girder. Okay, the crane girder has two wheel each side. Okay, on crane girder we have placed a trolley, and trolley also has their wheels. Okay, trolley has four wheels, so we also need to find the bending moment occurs due to the wheel load of trolley. That's why we need to find the total load on the wheel. Okay, on the wheel of trolley. And how could we find that load? So let's check today. So in first lecture of gantry girder, I have introduced some loads. There are four types of loads occurring on the gantry girder. First one was vertical load. Second one was impact load. Third one was longitudinal load. Which is due to movement of crane girder. And fourth one was lateral load. It is also known as surge load, which is due to movement of trolley. So how it is occur? So, by this we can find the loads on the wheel of trolley. So moving forward to that, see, this is crane girder. Let's explain. See, these are the wheels of trolley. Let's understand first that how the loads are occurring. This is trolley. Okay. This is trolley. Now, Okay, this is crane girder. The trolley will move in this direction. Here and line. Due to the starting and stopping of trolley, the surge load will occur here. Drag force. It is also known as drag force. Due to starting and stopping of the trolley, the surge load will occur here. Okay, so it is moving in lateral direction, so it is known as lateral load. This is lateral direction, and this is longitudinal. Okay, so first of all, we need to understand that which loads is being carried by the trolley. Sorry. I draw again. My mistake. I'm sorry. Okay. Now we need to understand that how the surge load occurs. The surge load occurs due to starting and stopping of the trolley. Now, which loads we will take in calculation for calculating the load on wheel. So, heading lateral load. Lateral loads. Now, lateral loads means it is due to movement of trolley. The trolley has its self weight. So, self weight of trolley, which is given 40, and another load, the lifted load, which is 200 kilonewton, crane capacity. So, crane capacity 200 kilonewton. So, total load will be lifted, total load will be taken by trolley is 240 kilonewton. Now, this load are transferred on the wheels, and through wheels it is transferred on the crane girder. So, there are 4 wheels in trolley. So the loads will be distributed on 4 wheels. So is equal to 240 divided by 4. So how much load is distributed? Can you calculate it? That how much load is being distributed? Yeah, I am writing. It is okay or not? Let's take idea. So let's think. Sorry for late. Okay. Now, directly we will divide the load on the wheels, or there are some conditions that we have studied in the first lecture in the introduction portion of the gantry girder, that the surge load is equal to, for electrically operated crane, 10% of self weight of trolley plus crane capacity, and if we are using hand operated crane, then it is 5%. Here our crane is electrically operated, so the total load will be, for electrically operated crane, it will be 10% of 240. is equal to 0.1 into 240. So it will be 24 kilonewton. It will be 24 kilonewton. Okay. Now this 24 kilonewton will be distributed on each wheel. This wheel, this wheel, this wheel, and this wheel. Okay. So there are 4 wheels. There are 4 wheels in trolley. So the loads will distribute by on the 4 wheel is equal to 24 divided by 4 is equal to 6 kilonewton. Okay, this is the load we get is a working load. So we need to factor it. So factored load is equal to 6 into 1.5. Factored load is equal to 1.5 into 6, which will be 9 kilonewton. So the each wheel of trolley will carry a 9 kilonewton of load. So there will be 9 kilonewton load transferred by each wheel of the trolley to the gantry girder. Now, what will be the moment produced by this 9 kilonewton load? Let's calculate. So the moment due to maximum wheel load of crane is 675.84. So what will be the moment due to 9 kilonewton? So the maximum wheel load 300.77 produced a moment of 675.84 kilonewton into meter on gantry girder. So the maximum wheel load of trolley, which is 9 kilonewton, so what moment will produce by this? Let's calculate. So 9 into 675.84 divided by 300.77. So the moment produced by trolley wheel, maximum moment due to trolley wheel is 20.22 kilonewton into meter. It's simply multiply by this, divide by this. You will get the answer 20.22 kilonewton into meter. Okay, kilonewton into meter. The produced moment by literal load. So we have calculated the wheels, the load on wheels of trolley, and due to that the moment is 20.22 kilonewton into meter. Now the last load, the calculation of last load is left. Which was the last load? The last load was longitudinal load, and longitudinal load is due to what? Longitudinal load is due to the movement of longitudinal load is due to the movement of the crane girder. So it will be the 5% of static wheel load for both electrically operated crane and hand operated crane, which I have explained in the lecture 1, which is about this link. And if you haven't understand, then please go through this link and study first the design steps, explanation of design step. There you will get all the information about each steps we are calculating. Okay, so the fourth load, which is longitudinal load. Fourth load, which is longitudinal load. And it is 5% of static wheel load for both EOT and hand operated crane. For both EOT and hand operated crane. Now 5% means 0.05. Static wheel load, which was 160 point something. The static wheel load of our was 160 point something. So, okay, 160 point something. And the crane has two wheels at each end. So there will be two static load. So it is multiplied by 2. Okay. So total horizontal load will be 16.08 kilonewton. Never miss to do a factored. So factored load will be factored longitudinal load is equal to 1.5 into 16.08. So it will be 24.12 kilonewton. 24.12 kilonewton. So we have calculated the surge load, we have calculated the moment due to surge load, and now we have also calculated the longitudinal load, which is 24.12 kilonewton. So our all loads on gantry girder has been calculated. Our maximum bending moment on gantry girder also has been calculated. Our shear force on gantry girder also has been calculated. Now provide the section. So the step 4, which is section selection. The step 4, we have calculated all the things which are occurring on the gantry girder. Now to resist that, which section we will provide. Okay, so that we have to decide the section selection. The step is section selection. Step 4 is section selection. Section selection means there are 3 types of gantry girder: I plus C section, I plus plate plus C section, I plus both plate, base plate and top plate and C section. Which section we will select? I plus C section. So for that we need to consider the depth required for the choosing the section and the width required for choosing the section. So for that, the economic depth of girder should be the economic depth of girder be calculated by equation L by 12. Okay, in which L is nothing but the span of gantry girder. L is nothing but the span of gantry girder, which is 7.5. So it will be 7500. I have converted in mm. Divide by 12. So the depth of gantry girder will be 625 mm. What? 625 mm. Like that, width this will be L by 40 to L by 30. So 7500 by 40 to 7500 by 30. These are the fixed values for calculating the gantry girder. So 7500 by 40, it is 187.5 2. 7500 by 30. It will be 250. Okay. So means the width should be not less than these both value, means 187.5 is the minimum width we require and 250 is the maximum. So we always provide the section more than the maximum value. Okay. So we will provide the width which will be more than 250. Okay. Now the last ZP. This is the value on the base of which the gantry cutter is being confirmed that the provided section is okay or not. So ZP required. This is known as ZP required. So the ZP required will be, the equation is 1.4 mu divided by Fy. The Fy value is 250, it is fixed and it is in Newton per mm square. So we need to convert the value of mu in Newton into mm. So 1.4 into 675.84 into 10 raised to 6, which is the maximum bending moment of due to wheel load. Second step. Okay. Divided by Fy means 250. So the value of Zp will be 3.78 into 10 raised to 6 mm cube. So this is the required Zp value. Okay, this is the required Zp value. So this our after completing the sum, after providing the section on the basis of given section, okay, our selected section, we will found another Zp value which is known as Zp provided. Okay, it should be greater than Zp required value. Then and then your sum is okay. Otherwise it is not. Okay. So these were the 4 steps. First one was maximum wheel load. Second one was bending moment. Third one was shear force. And this is the 4 section selection. Now, for today, this much only. Forward, I will continue in the next lecture. Okay? Bye.